Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this historic occasion. I don't think we've ever had the governor of Missouri come to City Hall to sign a bill. So, at least not in my memory. Anybody remember differently? So, all right, so therefore I proclaim this is an historic occasion. We're glad you're here, and this is a great day for St. Joseph. The land bank legislation, along with the LLC legislation, is going to help us address, in a very significant way, the problem we have with blighted properties in our town. It's a problem that's been around a long time. We're not going to solve this problem overnight, but these two new tools will help us to really attack this problem and make some progress. So I'm delighted. I appreciate everyone's help in making this happen. So Sheila, it was her bill that started it. Why don't you talk to us a little bit?
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I especially want to thank our governor who took the time out of his busy schedule to come to St. Joseph, Missouri, and it's because he knows how important this legislation is to us. We've tried for 6 years to get this done, and it was a team effort. I know it was my bill, but I also had help from our representatives Shields and Faulkner. Senator Luke DeMeyer got it over the finish line, and we had the chamber come down, we had our mayor, and we had our city leaders come down and testify in support of this legislation. It would not have happened if our entire community had not come together to make it happen. So we can all celebrate and be happy, but we all did it together. So I guess my last words are, we did it. So I want to thank everybody. So thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to echo what Representative Solon and the mayor already said. This is a tremendous victory for St. Joseph. This is a town where, we've had issues with urban blight, with increases in crime, and this is going to be yet another tool in the tool belt for the city to be able to fix some of those issues. And so it seems fitting and appropriate that since this is a tool for the city to start working on some of those issues, that we would sign it here today in City Hall. And so with that, please help me in welcoming the 57th governor of the state of Missouri, my friend, Governor Mike Parson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's great to be in St. Joe this morning to start the day off. I got to tell you, everybody that's here, though, my brother lives in St. Joe up here, has for a number of years up here, and last night I had dinner with him. He come to Bolivar to see me last night. Didn't know I was coming here to St. Joe this morning, so sometimes it's just the way the governor's schedule goes a little bit. But it's good to be here this morning. It's good to be here with Sheila and Tony up front and the mayor. Not too long ago I was up here and we were talking about the floods. It seemed like it's dominated the news for so long, and still is, to a matter of fact. But the good news is rivers are going down. Water's going down. Thank goodness. That's a blessing in disguise for that to happen. And both Tony and Sheila, I got to tell you, this is their home turf, but when I was up here touring the floods, they had a little bit of time off the side to me, started telling me how important this bill was to St. Joe and to the people and what it was going to do. And as Tony said, more tools for the toolbox to make the town better, and we really want you to come up here and we really want you to sign this. And I said, okay, I got it. I said, let's let the water go down a little bit and I'll come back. So I'm going to give them credit for getting the water to go down too because of this bill. So things are looking good. But, one of the things you do as governor, you have the opportunity to sign legislation, important pieces of legislation for individuals' communities. And that's really important sometimes to make sure I get out and to try to be in those communities because it's important to those communities. It might not be important to everybody else across the state, but to St. Joe, this is really important. And this was the stress of it, what the legislators do representing you to make sure your voice is heard up there. And really to get this bill done this year with so many other moving parts that were happening, it's pretty remarkable. I'll just tell you that. And you don't get that done if you don't have good leadership. And one of the things I've always said about being governor, and I know Brenda's here too today with us, but one of the things I always say about governor too, the people on my staff and the people in the governor's office and to the legislators, it's never about being the best. It's really not. It's not been about the best governor. It's about making all the people around you better to get the job done. And I think that is so important as we move forward. And I think as a perfect example today, the state is better off because we're all working together trying to do good things for the state. And this is a perfect example of what we're doing here in St. Joe. So again, it was remarkable for my first session to be able to work with the legislators, both in the House and the Senate, to accomplish real meaningful things. And today, we're going to get the opportunity to sign something that's going to be very beneficial to your community. And hopefully in the near future, you're going to see lots of positive changes because of this. And hopefully you ask me back someday when we see some of these accomplishments are made, so we can see really what this bill done when we get it out there in town on the streets on that. So with that, I think it's time to sign this bill and make it into law.